Selling Wilson from that radar. I get down for my craft.
Ladies and gentlemen, T.I. That. And then when you got to Aracy, you did another cool move. Like Q-Tip was already signed to the label.
Yeah.
So at the time you was still Tip.
Right.
That's how we got the T.I., right? Like you had to give up the name. Or you chose to give up the name.
Well, T.I. came from a lack of other better options. You know what I'm saying? They told me that I had to change my name. And for a minute I was like, man, I ain't got nothing to change it to. What you want to change it to? That's my name. And so it began to kind of stall my project. So KP like, hey man, and this, you know, in some record I say T-I-P, something like that. Just spelled my name out kind of slow. And he's like, hey, what about T.I.? Like, what the fuck is T.I.? What is that? You got something better? No, but what the fuck is T.I. mean? Yeah. And, you know, ultimately I was like, man, well, fuck it, just call me whatever the fuck you want to call me then. You know what I'm saying? You know, and so, you know, from then on, I was T.I.
What was it like putting together the first album? I'm Serious was what, 2001, right? You got signed 99? And, you know, you had Dope Boys on there. And I know a song that meant a lot to you, Still Ain't Forgave Myself. Like,
right.
I remember seeing you at the Storytellers and you was breaking down how that song has great personal significance to you.
Yeah, I mean, Still Ain't Forgave Myself with just me coming to terms with all of the dumb, just the ignorant shit that I had done that kind of prolonged my success, or should I say prolonged me making it to become a success. It kind of elongated my, I guess, dark period. And you know, it's those things about me that I'm still to this day I have a problem, like with, I just can't let shit go. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, if motherfucker come with that drama, I don't know no other way to address it. But shit, all right, fuck it, here we go. Let's go ahead, you got it. You know what I'm saying? And those things, you know, they, even to this day, you know, it made me who I am, and it gave me, you know, the respect factor of all of the people who ought to be respected in this business, but it also kind of, it hindered my success in a certain way. Yeah. So, you know, it's still to this day some shit I'm working on.
No, but I mean, you've always dealt with adversity in your career. Like even the debut, like a lot of times in hip hop, the debut gets so glorified. Like artists are defined by their debut. Your debut wasn't this huge success. Like how did you deal with that? And what was that transition like?
Man, shit. And you know what? Pharrell told me that when we was making I'm Serious and Panic Pumper. He said, you know what? You so dope. You might not like come out and blow up right away. I said, man, what the hell are you talking about?
I don't want to hear that.
Who says that? He said, no, but it's gonna be better for you, trust me. No, it's not. It's not gonna be better. And you know, man, it just, you know what I'm saying, it just worked out that way, and it did make us stronger. And I would have probably been a very successful artist had my debut been bigger, but I don't think I would have been as successful or as accomplished of a businessman or entrepreneur. I don't think that Grand Hustle would have been set in place and been, you know, the cornerstone of my career the way it has been if it had not been for us having to do it ourselves.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, talk about how you dealt with that, because like, you know, you put out the In the Streets mixtape series, you know, you jumped on a Bone Crusher record. Like, what was it? How was you able to build your clientele back up to get you more attractive that you could get another deal?
Well, see, the Never Scared record came before I think I'm Serious was released. However, after we didn't get, I guess, the exposure or reception that we would have hoped, what we knew was we had a jam in that album that was better than anybody else shit you played after or before. So all we had to do was make sure that people heard it. Once people heard it, they was gonna love it. So we went to projects and we went everywhere that there was, and we was giving our album. We'll get we'll just get Arista to send boxes. Y'all ain't doing shit with it anyway. Just send it down to us.
Oh, giving out them series.
We're just giving them out. We're just
For
giving
free.
them out. Yeah, just giving them out for free. We'll go up to the high schools.
Once it
we'll
stopped
give
being a
them out.
priority for them, you was like, let's
Yeah,
just
fuck
get
it. Y'all ain't trying to sell them. Just send them to me. So we just really and then what we did after they stopped sending them to us, we said, okay, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna take everybody's favorite songs and add some new songs, and we're gonna make a mixtape. And then that started the mixtape series in the streets. And also we called all surrounding areas, Memphis, New Orleans, Birmingham, Montgomery, Jacksonville, Gainesville, Orlando, Arkansas, yeah, go figure.
Arkansas now.
Woo! Like everywhere, South Carolina, all the surrounding, everywhere that surrounded Georgia, we call the PDs and all of the little bitty towns that no celebrities go to, and we say, hey man, look man, we're gonna come up there and rock with you, man. Just tell us what night to be there, and we're gonna come and we're gonna
whatever
turn
your club
up.
is, your
wherever
hottest club
is, wherever it is, just put us in there. We're gonna get ourselves there. We're gonna get ourselves back. Just fuck with us. And so, you know, we did that for about 3 months. And then probably about the 4th or 5th month, motherfucker was getting up 10, 15 grand to come back.
Wow.
And then, you know, that began to fund the movement. We stopped calling the label. Label like, what's going on? Shit. Not a goddamn thing going on. You know.
But how did you get out that? You asked to get out of that deal.
You know, it was an ultimatum of sorts. I was
very charming, I'm sure you was.
I was summoned by L.A. Reid, and I went up there and to when he was in the Arista building now. After LaFace had been acquired by Arista and L.A. was the head, the CEO, president, chairman,
El Jefe.
whatever he was, Jefe Grande at Arista. So I went up there, man, and it was him and Mark Pitts in there. And so me and Jason sitting in there, we talking, and he talking about going to the next album, which I had already began. I started on it.
But I think called trap music?
Yeah, he was talking about the next album. And I said, well, no, man, we still got records off of here. People down there loving it, man. We packing houses. You know what I'm saying? We getting 1,000 people to show up. And we getting like 20 grand a show now. And they want to hear, they want Pussy Pumper. They want Still Ain't Forgave Myself. They want, like, we got still life in this project. No, we need to go on to the next one. I said, well, how do I know that you won't make the same mistake with the next one that you did with this one? The only thing that I will feel comfortable with, the only thing that will ensure me that I will not be in this situation again is if you give me $2 million or let me go. And he say, let me think about that. Let's have lunch and we'll come back and we'll talk about it. I said, all right, cool. So I look at Jay. I said, you gonna give us $2 million? He ain't say no. So we walk out. We went and got us a slice of pizza and kicked the shit a little while. And that lunch was the longest damn lunch, I swear to God. It must have been about 3 hours later. Probably about 4:30, from 12 to about 4:30, 5 o'clock. And then
They
Mark,
still eating?
yeah, I'm like, damn, they still thinking? So Mark Pitt say, all right, man, think you're gonna be happy with this. So I come on, I go back in, and then we sit down, and then they say, all right, we're gonna give you what you want. I say, shit, yeah, you're free to go. What? The fuck? I'm like, damn, man, I just had $2 million in my head 5 minutes ago. Now I ain't even got a record deal. What the fuck? And so from there, we walked out. We're like, yeah, that's right. Let us go like we wanted, right, Jay? That's what we wanted.
Freedom.
Yes, we're gone.
Independent.
Where the fuck we going? And so, you know what I'm saying? And right then, that was the birth of Grand Hustle, when they kicked us out their office and we all went back. Me and Jason was actually roommates at the time. We had a condo and up by Perimeter Mall in Atlanta. And so we go back to the condo, man. We called it. It was like a cave because it was downstairs and it was hardly any light. And if we wanted that motherfucker to stay dog, he was gonna stay dog. So we go back to the cave and everybody, okay, what you got? What you got? What you got? Collectively, we probably put together about 40, 50,000. And we said, okay, well, we're gonna do it ourselves. And we took that 40, 50,000, we started working on trap music. We began to then just record. We recorded in the cave as well as my partner, Mac Boney, his mom let us record at her beauty salon when they weren't. Wow. She let us rent out the after hours.
Did a song on the album you recorded ended up from the beauty salon ended up on the album?
Absolutely.
Which one?
Rubberband Man.
Rubberband Man was in a beauty salon?
Shit, yeah.
You recorded Rubberband Man in a beauty salon?
Yep. And the rest of it, but I think right at then, that was the time when I met Tamika, and then, you know what I'm saying, I started recording in her house.
There we go.
Yes, I was.
Publishing checks is nice right there.
What you mean?
No, she wrote some hits.
She didn't write none. She just let me record in her house.
Nah, I bet.
The
facilities might have been a little better.
I was just a little vagrant, you know, like what you call it, like later in the tramp. I was the tramp. She just let me, I come in, eat some spaghetti, record me a couple songs. She said, all right, now about time to go. All right, god damn, you always making a nigga leave and shit. Need to let me spend the night one night. Now, nigga, it's time to go. All right, you gonna want me one day. You know what I mean? And shit, so it was some of those songs from trap music was also recorded in her basement as well.
Rubberband Man, that was the one that really broke you national. What was that like when you? Well, you had to get to Atlantic first. How did you end up with Atlantic Records?
Man,
and you got a joint venture off the rip, right? How did you pull that off?
She asked for it.
Yeah.
Nah, man, we took that $40,000-$50,000, man, and we took a record. We identified a record, which was 24s. We shot a video.
Yeah. 24s.
Yep. We put the motherfucker up. No, we didn't shoot a video yet, but we did get the motherfucker in the clubs. We serviced it the radio, and we was up to at least like 500 spins already on our own before we even walked in to do a deal. And so we was already popping for real. Yeah. And plus we was still getting 25,000 a show for like 5 times a week. So we weren't really tripping on no money for real. Yeah. But we wanted ownership. You know, we felt like we had been operating as an independent record label all this time. It'd be a shame to not get credit for it. Yeah. And, you know, and us, since we had become a record label, since we had, I guess, really formulated our plan to become a real working label, we learned where the value was. And that was in equity. That was in, you know, actual ownership, sharing in profits. And, you know, so when we walked in, it was a different, it wasn't just no give me no record deal conversation. It was, man,
who did you meet with Atlantic? What was
a joint venture. Like well, Mike Carroll, I mean, coincidentally, the day I walked in my lawyer's office to sign my release papers from Arista, Mike Carroll happened to be in my lawyer's office too. And I don't know how or why, you know. So when he see me signing he said, oh, you're released? Yeah. We have to take a meeting. You should come meet with Craig Carroll. You should. I said, all right, well, who is, and I was like real, y'all think I'm a motherfucker now, but like even back then, I was worse. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, who is Craig Carroll? He's the president of Atlantic Records. And I say, well, so that's the motherfucker who you report to, right? Yeah, so why would I talk to you? I would like that. Yeah, I was fucked up. But you know what I'm saying?
Young Tip.
Yeah, I was fucked up. And so, you know, we had a very strict no middleman policy. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you walking in no room, speaking for me, telling nobody what to think about me. I can walk, I can talk, I can speak for myself. Yeah. Thank you very much. If you getting anything off of it, need to come out their end, not mine. Okay? So, you know.
Tell Craig Carroll to call me.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, man, Craig should get in touch with me. And you know what I'm saying? Me and Mike Karen since then have, you know, we've strengthened our relationship. You know what I'm saying? Of course. But so I went and sat down with Craig and told him I wanted a joint venture. And he just started like, man, how we gonna make this? I wanted $2 million in, so I wanted the $2 million that I didn't get from LA, and I wanted the joint venture. I was like, hey, every meeting I went into, I went and met with Def Jam, Columbia. I met with who else was around back then? Jive. I met with all of the who's who, and my speech was the same. Hey, I walked out of one situation because they didn't give me what I wanted. Ain't nothing to do it again, baby. You know what I'm saying? That was my spiel. That's how I kicked it. That's how I carried myself. And finally, man, you know, they went on, gave me the $2 million. They gave me 1.6 of it, and I got another $400,000 bonus once I hit platinum. So I got the $2 million and I got the JV.
Joint Ventures, JV.
Yeah, JV. Yeah.
But Rubberband Man, that was the first record like kind of really broke national. Like, what was that like? When did you feel like this record, like you've had big records, like you said, 24s, these kind of records, like what did it feel like, okay, this record is like taking me to another
Sure, it was
space.
Phenomenal, but it was like, it was a short-lived celebration. It was very bittersweet, simply because on the very night that we were shooting the video for Rubberband Man, I'm talking about like no sooner than I had said goodbye to Puff, slapped hands, and was on my way, my neighbor was calling me saying, hey, know where you going? Don't come home. What you mean? Man, you got helicopter, SWAT team, everybody surrounding your house, they kicking in your doors, do not come here. And so then shortly thereafter, I had a little sit down, so I didn't really get a chance to really see all of the products of Rubberband Man.
How did you deal with that? Like I was saying, like I remember hearing the talk of it, like trap music's the hottest thing, and then wait, this guy's going to jail? Like what's going on? Like it's such a major setback.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, man, I just dealt with it.
Then when you got out, man, you got into this little thing, a little rap beef, man. This guy a little flip, man. You destroyed this guy's career, man. What happened, Tim?
I mean,
I heard that Down with the King mixtape the other day. That shit was vicious, man. Jesus.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I told you. I can't let shit go. I haven't found a way yet. You know what I'm saying? But it's always somebody fucking with me though. You know what I mean? I ain't never just stepped out there and fucking with nobody else. It's always somebody crossing their line. And I don't know no other way to deal with it, but head on.
You just felt like cats thought you was away, so like...
No. He was really in my city, like at a club in Atlanta, like talking reckless about me. And it got back to me. DJs was telling me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And it got back to me. And I was like, man, why this nigga? Damn. And he was really salty about the whole King of the South thing, was really the thing about it. And he just didn't have enough nuts to tell me to my face when I saw him. We had did a Source photo shoot with me, him, the Young Guns,
Cassidy.
And
I know my little hip hop journalist.
Yeah, and he was real kind of stiff, right? When I seen him, he was just like, yeah, what's up? You know, I'm like, what's up with this nigga? I ain't paying no mind. We did that and I went on about my business. But then afterwards, I got in trouble, went away, and then I heard that he was talking reckless. I'm like, oh, that's why the nigga was so stiff. Okay, so when I came home, I immediately went to shit.
It was like a Summer Jam concert or something, right?
That was
like a hip hop historic moment. Like, you know, some Summer Jam, you just popped out of nowhere.
Yeah, they thought I was still locked up.
Yeah.
And I was actually in a halfway house, a work release actually, and they let me go do the birthday bash in Atlanta.
Birthday bash.
Yeah, and I just put my little campaign, put my little demonstration down, and he was there, by the way. You know what I'm saying? He was there, and I told him to come on out here. We can handle it right here, right now. Come on out, on stage.
And after your leprechaun, after your Lucky Charms, he said.
I don't remember none of that stuff. You know,
Made a whole mixtape, Tip, down with the king, man. A whole mixtape.
I don't remember any of it.
That was some good hip hop. You guys should
I need to go get me one. If anybody know where I can go get it, is it on that pill? Is it on live mixtapes? Where do I go get it?
Like you said, being on house arrest, you always had to deal with that a lot of times. So then your next album, Urban Legend, you recorded the whole thing while you were on house arrest, right?
90% of it.
90%. What was that like, having to make a album and like you're still dealing with all these ramifications of your monitoring of your actions?
That was the only piece of freedom I had. You know what I'm saying? To be able to go record and do what I love to do most. That was the only real piece of freedom that I had, man. So I was eager to do that. You know what I'm saying? I think that was some of my best music.
Yeah, I think Urban Legend gets slept on. I think that's one of my favorite.
I mean,
you know, because people like, obviously trap music's a classic. Paper Trail's like, you know.
A lot of people tell me that Urban Legend is their favorite. You know what I'm saying? I think that was, you know, my first. I feel like my first commercially successful album.
I love Motivation to What You Know to ASAP, right? That's that,
nah, What You Know is the next album. No. That's King.
No. What's the other
cool.
one? No. What's it called? The other one.
What you mean?
What's after Motivation?
Man, I don't.
Oh, you don't know me. You don't know me.
You don't
That's
know
my
me.
shit.
Okay, cool.
When you
man,
did all
please,
this,
man, I've done 9 albums, man. Do you think I know the sequence of each? But nah, man. I mean, you know, Urban Legend was a big moment for me. I actually did get a chance to witness, you know, the success of that one. I got all of the success from trap music, Rubberband Man, mixed with the Bring 'Em Out, You Don't Know Me, and everything else, all in one with Urban Legend. That was a huge, huge moment for us.
It only got huger because King, 2006 was your year. Like, you had this rare times in the culture where you could be like, yo, this guy's the top guy, whether you like it or not. You had the King album out. You did a little movie called ATL.
Right.
And it was like inevitable that you was the top guy in the game.
I mean, man, it was a lot of hard work. I feel like it had paid off. I felt like, you know, we finally got, you know, what we deserve. And, you know, of course I wasn't satisfied. I never am. I think we sold like 528,000 copies the first week.
Talk about it, Tim. Talk about it.
And I was like, man, I want to do 750. I remember Leo and them was like, yo, kid, you're tripping. Man, all right, man. And you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's, I had heard so much about the days before I got in the game when, you know, when Jay and you know, everybody was just doing wild numbers. Like, man, I want a 5-time platinum album too. Where mine at? And like, kid, you missed that boat. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I just had to accept that, you know, that this was my payoff. You know what I'm saying? This was my just due. And we found ways to live in the moment a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Got that Grammy for What You Know? That was big.
Yeah. I wanted the rap album of the year though. I feel like I should have got that.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Ludacris who ended up with it, but I felt like that year, you know what I'm saying? Now there were other times with other albums that he had recorded that I felt he deserved it. But for that year, I felt that was my award. But Grammys saw otherwise. Yeah. So congratulations to him, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
They trying to wrap me up already, man. ATL though, I want to talk about ATL. Like, what was the experience doing a movie like for the first time? Like, what was your mentality going into that? And my wife wanted to know, did you learn how to?
They know how to skate?
Yeah, the skating
skills. Nah, we went to extensive skate training. Extensive skate training. Every day from like 8 in the morning to 3 p.m. Me, Jackie Long, Lauren London, the twins, Jason Weaver, Evan Raw, all of us, in extensive skate boot camp. And
skate boot camp.
No bullshit. And me, man, you know what I'm saying? I was flying high off the success of Urban Legend. You know, I think I had just got my first $5 million, $10 million check or something. I'm blowing weed out of a Phantom, hopping out, man. I don't care what's going on. You know, I remember I showed up late, like the first week. I'm like, you know, I'm used to rap time. You know what I'm saying? You tell me 3 o'clock, I get here before 5, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, them folk came to my house. Say, listen. Actually, it was Chris Robinson. My agent called me on the phone. He's now my manager now. His name Brian Sher. And Chris Robinson came to my house. And so I'm on the phone with him talking, and they say, hey, somebody at the door. And I go, it's Chris. So Chris comes up to my room. So I'm on the phone with him, talking to Chris. And so he's telling me, yo, if you're late one more time, they're going to fire you. And then Chris says, bro, please don't be late anymore. They're going to fire you. Like, fire me? Man, what do you mean?
It's my movie.
It's my movie, exactly. And they was like, no, you don't understand. They will kill the whole movie. They will fire you. They will fire me. They will kill the whole movie. Please, just don't be late anymore. And so, you know, I saw it then. And then I was like, you know, I got into my, well, maybe I don't want to do this shit anyway. You know, and it was Charlie Mack, actually, who talked me into like, hey, yo, you got to play the game. This ain't the way it go. If you really, really want to do this, like you really you gotta adjust. You gotta make the adjustments. Yeah. And so, you know, thank you to Charlie Mack and them, you know, for pushing me through it, because I would have quit on day 4.
Before we get to Q&A though, I gotta ask you, because at that point of success, it went through that very dark period. You lost Phil.
Yeah.
You know, the gun situation, you felt like you wasn't feeling safe and your life was in danger. Like, you know,
nah, we was at it though. It was,
yeah.
you know, that was a very dark period in my life. After Phil, that was a time where I felt like I had trusted people to protect us from certain things that we usually would protect ourselves from. Mm-hmm. And I felt like after that, I ain't want to give nobody that opportunity or give nobody that kind of trust no more. So I just started taking matters into my own hands.
But even with that impending situation, it seemed like you empowered yourself, but made Paper Trail, did the Road to Redemption. Like people kind of bugged out that you kind of took a situation and like you sort of empowered yourself in it. You know what I mean? By being active and like, you know, serving, paying a service to what you did wrong in a different type of way.
True. I mean, I think that, you know, that method of thinking that I had at the time was kind of me helping me, instead of allowing God to have, you know, his will to be done in my life. You know what I'm saying? I think well, I guess you can clap for God, for Christ's sakes. You know what I mean? I had taken so much time looking into the loss of Phil that I had forgot or did not take time to just take notice that I had my life. You know what I'm saying? I felt so bad for the loss. I felt like, man, that was a life lost on my watch. But, you know, I wasn't really being very, very responsible with the life that I still had of my own.
I mean, even after you did your time, you know, you got out, you started getting back your career going. Takers was a big success.
Right.
And then you had another setback with the drug arrest.
Yes, I did.
How difficult was that to deal with?
Well, see, that was just some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? That was just that was just some dumb shit. Listen, man, I had the #1 movie in America. You know, and that was my first #1 movie.
20 mil Takers?
21,300,000. You know what I'm saying? And that was a film that I had produced and kind of corralled the entire cast, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a big deal for me. So I was going to celebrate that evening. I never got around to it, but you know what I'm saying? I was going to partake in a bit of turn up that night. You know what I'm saying? But that never happened. That never happened, man. And that's, you know what I'm saying? That's how the dice fell.
But you had to go back to the same spot, Arkansas, the same facility.
Yeah.
How did you feel having to go back to that place?
Well, it sucked.
Yeah.
You know
was it rougher going through the second situation than the first?
Very much so. I mean, because, you know, the same motherfucker who were there, you know, who when you left the first time, the same motherfuckers, you know, knew you'd be back. You know what I'm saying? You got some real racist white boys in Arkansas. I'm talking about they nasty with it, dip and snuff it. Know you come back. You know, I mean, I literally like got into it with their one officer. Well, I wouldn't call it getting into it, but he wanted to do something to me. During count time, you ain't supposed to talk. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to stand up there and let them count. But when he coming by, he count me. He said, "Told you was gonna be back, didn't I?" I say, "Told you I was still gonna be rich when I got here, didn't I?" So he say, "He's talking in count time. He's talking in count time." I say, "He talking to me." And you know, he tried to bang me for that. He ended up banging me for something else later on, though. But I'm sure my life is better than his, so ha.
You share your life, Family Hustle. Before we go, talk about that show. And like, I mean, it started 2011. It's been a very successful series. It's on against all the other ratchet shows on VH1. Like, why do you think America wants to watch the Harrises? Like, what is it about the show, and why has it been so successful?
Major?
Major, all right.
I guess. I mean, I guess balance, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in life, man, you know, wants some balance. If you know what I'm saying, if you take pleasure in the ratchet shit, then you know quite naturally you're gonna wanna add some balance to that. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, we just ratchet enough, but with some, you know, intellectually ignorant.
That's the path you've been on.
I've been trying, man. You know.
Yo, Tip, man, we could be here all day, man. They wrapping us up. You ready?
I ain't got nowhere to go.
All right,
man.
King, I appreciate you, baby. Oh, Q&A, what Q&A? Oh, you let people ask questions? All right, I'm hogging. All right, real quick, couple Q&A. Who are you? Who?
Mike from the city.
Hey.
How's it going?
Okay, what's going on, Mike?
How are you? I mean, you're my favorite rapper of all time, but what do you want your legacy to be?
Wow.
Kind of when all's said and done, kind of how do you want to be known?
I want to be known more as the man than the music. You know what I'm saying? I want to be known as a stand-up guy, man, who didn't compromise his integrity or what he believed in for success. I remain true to the things that I value the most. You know what I'm saying? I'ma still ride or die about my family, and I'ma still demand respect, and I'ma still be you know what I'm saying? I'ma still deliver that same respect in return. And I think that's it, because a lot of people just compromise who they are. They just, you know what I'm saying, turn into a different person and allow their success, allow their celebrity, allow their possessions or their bank account to define them, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to be known as the cat who never allowed that to happen.
You never compromise your principles in that sense.
Never. My morals remain intact. What little ones I have.
Who won? Jesse, you pick. Jesse, you active. You want Q&A. Who you want? Oh, Yankee fitted. All right, Yankee.
I'm actually from Florida. I'm Abraham.
Okay,
What up,
what's
Abraham?
happening, homie?
I'm from the South. You from Georgia. As far as with rap music, I mean, you know how the South is. You know, we definitely don't really have nothing down there. Could you just share with us like an experience that rap gave you, that it showed you like, man, like I'm really, you know, not in Bankhead no more. Like, what was one of those experiences?
I mean, man, to be honest with you, I never felt that same sense of kind of that void, because I always came back up here to New York in the summer. So I knew what it was like outside of the South. I wasn't, how do I say, I don't want to say institutionalized, but I wasn't like, you know, I wasn't bogged down or consumed by my surroundings in the South. I always knew, even as a kid, that there was somewhere else for me. And I never felt that. Like when people come to me and say, when they used to come and say, man, they don't never play us in New York, man. They don't like us, they don't respect us, they don't never play my shit, they don't never do nothing for us. I'm like, shit, I ain't never had that problem, man. I'm always good. I go up there, man, I know Ebro, I know Angie, I know Flex, I know all the Clue, I know, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody always embraced me like I was from here. So I always was like, man, I can't go there with you, brother, because I don't have that story to tell. So I understand what you're saying, but I think that moment for me came, man, the beginning of my career, man. When I came up here, I think I had a show at SOB's.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think I had a show there probably for my first album, which wasn't successful, but they were still rocking with me because I could spit. You know what I'm saying? I could tell the DJ to stop and kick a verse, and that shit'll still be on point. A place like
ask it again.
I think LA probably, because I was so familiar with New York. So, you know, here it was the same New York I'd always known. But when I went to LA, that shit kind of changed my life a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, God damn, I had never seen a palm tree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No bullshit. I had never seen a motherfucking palm tree before.
No
Like,
doubt.
damn, this is some shit. They got these motherfuckers all lying down the street, don't they?
All right, next question. Who we got?
I don't have the mic. I don't have the mic. I can't.
Yep. They
Y'all
fucked
hear me?
around.
Tahiri.
What's going on?
Hi,
How you
y'all.
doing?
Hi, Tahiri.
So I call you guys the new Cosby. It's a beautiful family show. Now, do you regret doing any reality TV?
Nah.
Rumor had it that you wasn't too happy about you didn't want to do it.
That's not true.
No?
It was my idea.
Was it?
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's my idea.
So how
Yeah.
far do you want to take it?
As far as the checks shall allow.
Is it only the difference of like being executive producer that you have control of everything that's
See,
being
yeah,
shown?
I think my experience and your experience might be a little bit different. Cause with mine, we were the creators and the executive
Right.
producers, and we knew what the premise of our show was. We knew what the storylines were. We got first right, creative control. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you ain't just finna get me out there doing anything. You know what I'm saying? But I think that there is a place for all of it, and if it wasn't, we wouldn't be getting paid to do it. You know what I'm saying? There's a place for all of it. Even in the most controversial shows, they can only take away with what you give them. They can only walk away with what you give them. And if you walk into a situation with the understanding, knowing, these motherfuckers finna try and get me to do something crazy. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta offset that with some intelligence somehow.
All right, next question. Thank you, Tahiri. Next question.
Thank you, by the way.
Yep. Speed out, rap radar.
What's up? What's
What's
up?
poppin'? I asked Lil Wayne the same question at
Why you shouting, beat out? I'm right here, man. Yo, it's Beat Out Rap Radar.
He's in New York, B. He's in New York, B.
Stop it. Well, we asked Lil Wayne the same question at a previous crown. In 2003, I felt you were a rap star. In 2004, you became a rap superstar after you appeared on Destiny's Child, Soldier. Can you talk about the importance of that record to your career?
I mean,
Great question. He always asks at every crown.
I think he is wonderful regurgitated question.
From
Nah, I'm
Weezy
joking,
to
I'm
Tip.
joking, I'm
Weezy
joking.
to Tip. Nah. But it
Nah,
was,
I'm joking.
No, to be
Nah, but
fair
for
though, it
real-
was big for Lil Wayne and big for you.
It was big for both of us, and I think that just from a comparison standpoint, that was the blurred lines of that time for me.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
know
sir.
what I'm saying? That opened me up to a different demographic, to a different audience, and I definitely salute the girls, man, for even allowing me. And it allowed me and Wayne to work together, and we, I think we
led to
became
a lot of business.
Yeah, we became partners, you know what I'm saying? After that experience.
Oh, so you guys had first met during that situation?
We had we had met before, and we had an appreciation for one another. We just hadn't ever worked closely together. You know what I'm saying? We hadn't done videos and what I'm saying, like all the other shit. Like we kind of created somewhat of a mutual respect artistic bond. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was probably where it began.
Jesse said we got two more, right? Two more.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Who are you?
My name is Deborah Quave, and I am an avid lover of words. And so I was wondering, do you have any more books or what do you have in the future
Author.
where we can take it with us?
I'm considering. I haven't like worked out no deal or agreed to nothing yet, but I'm considering like a memoirs kind of
Okay.
autobiography.
Wait. I'm trying to work a deal out. He said he wanted to write his memoirs. We trying to.
I'm just that's the next step. I don't want to necessarily do any more fiction right now.
Some reality.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the best story for me to tell is my own, and what I'm reading right now, the Bible deal.
One more. Who's closing us out, Jess? Who's closing us out?
What's up? My name's Arthur. I'm from Brooklyn.
Yes,
and thank you.
That gets you love anywhere in New York.
I gotta say, you're definitely top 5 dead or alive for me. King of the South, no question. Quick question. My favorite collaboration with you.
No question. Quick question.
That you've ever had. I'm a little nervous, but I'm gonna ask. When can we hear more songs like The Undertaker with Dro and Young Buck? Or more collaborations with, let's say, Jeezy, maybe a collaboration album of that nature, something along those lines.
Oh, he got a situation with Jeezy, right? Tip, talk about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, to address the 2 parts. The first part, I'm not interested in recreating something I've already created.
Right. Fair enough.
I mean, I have other collaborations with Young Dro, and me and Buck, man, we partners, man. You know what I'm saying? So he can holler at me and we can work anytime. But you could get the Hustle Gang mixtape, man.
GDOD, I got
Part two.
Yeah, and if you can't find something on there to compare to what you're speaking of,
I got both, man.
Thank you so much.
I love that.
Now, as far as with Young, Paperwork, which is in stores right now, we have a song.
Yeah, Paperwork. Album 9.
We have a song called G Shit, and also we got a collaboration album that we finna start on called Dope Boy Academy, and
Dope Boy Academy,
and that will probably answer both sides to your question.
Well, you answered a lot of questions, Tip. I can't have Crown without the King, man.
That's right, man.
I appreciate you, Tip. Thanks for coming out, baby.
Right on. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the stars of the show. Wilson from Rap Radar.
What's up, brother?
What you telling me, baby?
How was it, man? How you feel?
Man, it went
fast, man. But I feel like you went deeper with stories than you usually do about certain situations. Like
I had more time. You know what I'm saying? Most people, they usually want to get in and get out. But I think if I'm allowed to, you gotta just let me talk. But we can do part 2.
Part 2 be
the
amazing.
sequel.
Thank you, brother. Love. There's no Crown without the King of the South.
Ain't that the truth?
Wilson from Rap Radar.